Hello YouTube, Ryan Erickson here for All Things Life, where we provide reviews for everyday living. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Targus TG-P60T tripod, which comes boxed labeled as a black label professional 60-inch tripod. It comes in a largely black box itself, labeled black label. Let's open it up and take a look at the product. The unit itself does come with a very nice canvas carrying bag, two handles, very secure, very sturdy, very heavy material. So the bag itself, a bit of an upgrade for what we see in a lot of carrying bags. That's a very, very nice plus to this particular tripod that I don't see on many others. Bag opens from one end. We'll go ahead and take out the tripod itself. So first impressions here of this particular tripod, it is very sturdy. A lot of the tripods in this price range feel somewhat flimsy, a little bit light. This is a little bit heavier than I would say as compared to most other tripods in this space. It does come with a pan tilt head, 360-degree rotation, and then the pan, it does have the 90-degree plate for doing 90-degree flipping the camera on vertical axis. Quick release plate as well. We'll take a look at that here in just a second. The legs themselves, one of the unique features with this particular tripod is the articulating legs, and they do have locking mechanisms, locking levers here on the legs that we can, as we open up the leg, this particular lever stops it at three different predetermined angles. So if I were to just go to open the leg, it's locked here at the standard angle for normal tripod use. But if I depress this lever, I can actually go beyond that particular set stop and now have a wider stance. And then I even have one additional layer where I can come to a very wide angle, low to the ground kind of stance on this particular tripod. So if you're doing some groundwork or some very low level shots, this tripod has a very unique feature and allow you to get real low to the ground with your camera gear. I'll go ahead and bring the legs back out. We'll take a closer look at the pan tilt head here. So before we do that, let's talk legs very quickly. This particular tripod does utilize the lever style quick release. So we can pop open the lever, leg slides out, lever closes back down and locks the extension in place. So I'm going to go ahead and extend a few of these legs here. One other feature to make note of is that with a set screw here, we have the ability to raise the pan tilt head through the center column. And that it's not on a knob or any sort of gearing, but it's just a set screw here on the back of the unit, and we can tighten that down to any particular height that we would like. So with the tripod here extended somewhat, let's take a closer look at the pan tilt zoom head. Initial impressions, I mean, it is a fluid, it's advertised as a fluid head. It's certainly better than most pan tilt heads in this particular price range, this class, and I'm kind of considering this to be at the higher end of kind of the amateur tripod range. This is really targeted more as a professional level tripod. Now it's not going to compete with some of the higher end truly professional camera gear or tripod equipment that you'd find in the $150 and up price point, but I picked this up at a local big box store right around the $50 price point. So just to give you a reference point for where this particular unit lies. The head itself in the tilt axis, very smooth motion throughout the entire range. I don't feel any hesitations or hitches or bumps throughout the range. So given a camera on there, I don't see any reason why you wouldn't be able to establish pretty consistent and fluid tilts. In the panning motion, fairly smooth pan. It does have graduated marks along the 360-degree circumference of the pan base there, so you can kind of give yourself a reference point of where you're at. Motion feels very fluid. It perhaps is a little bit, I don't see a whole lot of lubrication on it, but I don't have any reason to believe that I wouldn't be able to get a very smooth pan coupled with a tilt on this tripod with just a little bit of practice. The unit does also have adjustable tensioning, so given the weight of your camera or the amount of movement you want in your shot, you can lock it down, you can give yourself a lot of tension. Even under tension, very smooth panning, and we do have a set screw here in the back as well to lock in the pan. So all in all, the unit looks to be very solid, very sturdy. I really do appreciate the build on this particular unit because it feels It does feel very secure and very solid. Taking a look at the quick release plate, one of the features that I really do appreciate on this particular tripod is a locking quick release lever. So when you release the plate, the mounting plate, the quick release lever does remain locked in the open position. And so that's very useful. Once you've mounted the quick release plate on your camera gear, you can come in with two hands and actually put the quick release plate in and press down, and it will lock back into place. So no more one-handed fumbling with the camera and at the same time trying to open up the quick release plate to get the unit locked in place. The quick release plate itself does have a cork kind of covering on it to help grip the camera or the video recorder, depending on the equipment that you've got. I don't see any issues build quality wise with the positioning pin or the thread itself. Everything looks to be very sound, in very good shape. When I mounted this to my camera to test it, everything was nice and snug. I didn't get any movement along the quick release plate. Everything fit as I expected it to, and things were very secure once they were mounted into the tripod. As I mentioned earlier, this does have a 90-degree plate. It does have a locking button on one side. So in order to release the 90-degree, or release the plate for 90-degree movement, you do actually have to press a button here along the left-hand side of the pan head, and it will release the plate for motion. It does have a set screw in the back, so given any particular subset of an angle that you want, you can lock it into place and the gear will remain wherever you set that set screw. So with that, overall, this particular unit is impressive. I do appreciate the build quality. The build quality on this unit I would rank as above average. I really do appreciate the legs, feel very sturdy. Pricing on this unit, for what it is, I have no reservations about the $50 price point. It falls squarely within an average to above average on the price to performance scale. In regards to functionality, I really do find this tripod to be above average, and one of the biggest features for that are the legs that can articulate out to an extremely low angle. In fact, if you go beyond the last set point, the legs will actually articulate beyond a 90 degree, which doesn't really bode for too much functionality in terms of placing the tripod on the ground, but it might open up some interesting possibilities for doing somewhat of a pseudo motion shot where you've got one leg up above, or even to some degree using it as a carry type tripod where you're carrying it with one of these legs perhaps above the shoulder and you're holding the other legs in your arms. I don't know, it might open up some interesting trick tripod work using that particular feature. But for those reasons, this tripod falls squarely above average in terms of functionality, because it does give you a lot of flexibility in terms of how you go about using it. So with that, I would rank this tripod well above average given the price point. It's an awesome little tripod. It's not a professional grade tripod. I mean, we're not going to be competing with the likes of a Manfrotto tripod with a wonderful fluid head, but for the price point and for the particular market that this is targeting, Targus has hit it pretty squarely on the head with a winner here on the Targus TG-P60T. So with that, thank you for watching this review. If you've enjoyed this review, check out the other reviews we have posted to the All Things Life channel. Be sure to like this video, make some suggestions in the comments if you'd like to see us review any other particular items, and be sure to subscribe to this channel in order to keep up with all the other reviews that we are posting here on All Things Life. Again, Ryan Erickson, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next review.